Whether intentionally or unintentionally, there has been a separation of students by wealth and poverty when it comes to education in Texas. Certain districts have a majority of students who come from low-income households, while others are filled with students from high-income backgrounds. This separation of students is caused indirectly through processes such as school zoning and housing patterns. Some school districts right next to each other have huge gaps in student wealth. Here in Houston, 76.4% of HISD students are economically disadvantaged compared to KDISD with just 28.3%. How are these district lines drawn? Some districts are drawn around residential neighborhoods and housing developments. When this happens, most of the students are in the same economic class. When district lines are drawn this way, families in low-income neighborhoods suffer in terms of education quality. So why does this matter to us? Achievement gaps between high and low income families have steadily increased over the last 50 years. The wealthy have increased in wealth, while people in poverty stay where they are. This growing inequality leads to differences in opportunities for students as well. Often, students coming from poorer homes already have obstacles they have to deal with, such as housing struggles and food insecurity. When a school is with a large population of students who are higher middle class, they have more parents who can donate and contribute to school funds. Not only that, but more parents are involved and aware of what's going on with their child's education. Studies show that socioeconomic diversity provides critical social advantages for students, including confidence, critical thinking, and creativity. There have been many attempts by federal and state programs to lessen the achievement gap. For example, in 1965, the ESEA was passed as part of President Lyndon B. Johnson's War on Poverty. This has been the most far-reaching and effective legislation affecting education passed by the United States Congress. Financial assistance was provided to local education agencies for the children of low-income families, as well as grants and aid for resources and other essential resources. In 2001, Congress reauthorized the ESEA with the No Child Left Behind Act. It required states to develop assessments in basic skills, and to receive federal funding, the schools had to give these assessments to students in specific grade levels. In 2015, the ESSA was passed. Under the ESSA, states have the flexibility to create their own idea and plan for education success, but they have to submit the plan to the U.S. Department of Education. There are a lot of other suggested ways to improve on the separation of students by wealth and poverty, and to lessen the achievement gap between them as well. School districts can choose to redraw attendance boundaries with consideration for socioeconomic balance in mind. Another idea for reducing the gap between students is implementing controlled choice policies for attendance instead of geographic zones. Families rank their preferred schools based on preference, and students are then assigned to their school based on preference and an algorithm that aims for even distribution of students by socioeconomic status. Many magnet and charter schools are also able to attract students from different demographics because they are not bound to single geographic school districts. Transfer requests can also be provided to increase diversity by giving preference to school transfers with socioeconomic balance. If we make this a priority, we can make sure that all students are given the opportunity to succeed and excel. Every child is capable of greatness when put in an environment that fosters growth. Thank you for listening. Goodbye. Whether intent